What's up, y'all? It's Sunday, man. I'm just checking in. Usually I try to rest on Sundays, but just wanted to drive around a little bit and check out some of the areas in the city. The weather is very nice, but very hot. So, you know, it's always that balance you got to find in life, right? Again, let's go through some housekeeping, man. If you're stacking Bitcoin, which I hope you are, if you can, do it responsibly. Do it with a peer-to-peer exchange, decentralized exchange, such as HODL, where you can sign up, no KYC, and trade with Bitcoin with other anonymous individuals. Link down in the description for HODL for a cold storage wallet to keep that Bitcoin safe in an open source and fairly reputable wallet with Bitcoin community people. It is called Cold Card Wallet, and that is in the CoinKite.com link down below. All right, let's get into it. So some people still are dreaming. I was just listening to a song, one of my favorite songs by Kanye West and Nas, called Still Dreaming. It's been one of my favorite songs for a long time. It's very introspective. It makes you think. You know, at some points people are doing well, some points people are not doing so well. And that's just a part of life. Life is roller coaster. And the economy is a roller coaster. You know, it's really going to be based on, you know, some type of interest rates. Either when interest rates are low, everything's going well. People have money to spend, credit to borrow, and they can do all types of things. And at times when the interest rates is high, you know, things slow down and time to pay back debts and things like that. Well, you know, you're starting to see that we're getting a combination of the two worst things possible in the U.S., and that is the rising cost of living, rent, and also credit card and auto loan debt all-time highs. And I think delinquencies are actually on the rise. The average American consumer is squeezed pretty bad, and not to mention food. So a lot of people complain about food here too, the cost of it. So. And not to mention probably any underlying medical conditions that people may have that they have to pay for either out of pocket or through, you know, whatever. You know, health care is pretty high. And not to mention a lot of people did take that arm ticket back in, you know, the past 3 years. So that probably doesn't help none. So what I'm saying is, I don't think the bull run is going to come from retail. If it's going to come from retail at all, it would come from retail in the U.S. People who earn the strongest currency in the world, you know, the dollar denomination. That's who it typically, I think, would fuel the bull run. But now we're having a contraction in money, and we're having a consumer that's pretty much distressed. Then I like to think that they're not going to be the ones to be trying to flood the market with any more money. There isn't any. That smells like a lot of weed right there. Still smell it too. So, yeah, there isn't a lot of money coming in anymore. There's not a lot of stimulus checks. You know, this president's not going to do that. There's no pandemic relief this time. You know, this is just, it is what it is. So, this is when the institutions will bring in the bull market. This is where the BlackRocks and all of these, you know, Kathy Wood's ARK investment fund, all these investment giants and institutions, they're going to bring in the money. And while retail will probably be left out on the side because they weren't stacking, they was too busy taking out auto loans and using their credit card for trips, you know, for overseas trips. Too much leisure. And, you know, and plus, you know, with all the negative press that came with Bitcoin because of crypto, you know, the negative press, really the negative aspects was in crypto, but Bitcoin takes a hit for that reputationally with the consumer. So because of the consumers getting scammed by a lot of these cryptos and SBF debacle, all that stuff. So a lot of people probably were apprehensive about even dollar cost averaging or, you know, buying any when it got down to 20, 17, 16, 15,500. And so now we're back up to 30,000, and I see us going much, much higher. Going to break out probably this falling wedge. Roughly you see it on the 4-hour to daily time frame. Probably break out of that any moment with the spot ETF approval, or even the Bitcoin fundamentally is so bullish right now that it's now in this place where even bad economic news or good economic news is bullish, and the ETF filings and the institutional adoption is already here. So, and a lot of people can't take advantage of it because yeah, they didn't play their cards right, and by just getting these new cars and all this type of stuff, and getting houses within the last couple of years, and I think even a lot of shitcoiners in aggregate are playing it pretty tight too. So their bags, who's gonna pump their bags? Usually retail suckers, you know, liquidity suckers will pump their bags. Institutions have a tight window. Actually, institutions have red tape on what the SEC has already deemed. See, people don't realize what the role of the SEC is. The SEC, institutional money is not going to buck the SEC's regulatory guidelines that they put out there. If they say Cardano, Algorand, Avalanche, Solana, you name it, a lot of these coins are securities. Even XRP, they said it's a security when it comes to the sale of institutions. If they're saying these securities, you really think that they're going to, these institutions that are government regulated are going to say, oh, you know what, we're going to get in these, we're going to go ahead and buy them up because forget the government. No, these are serious investors. They're looking at the asset for what it is, and they know the difference between when something should be a security and shouldn't be. So what I'm saying is, even these shitcoiners are still dreaming. They are still dreaming. And because retail isn't gonna, I don't think retail is going to do it this time. They don't got enough in them. So like Nas and Kanye said, some people are still dreaming. All right, I'll catch y'all later.